I've been fishing in college for 2 years now, and I've had so many awesome opportunities. We've traveled around the country, fished in places that I would have never even heard of if it wasn't for college fishing, and met so many awesome people. That being said, there are a few things I wish I would have known before I started fishing in college. So here are 5 things I wish I knew before I became a collegiate angler. The first thing I want to talk about is fishing your strengths. Now, in college, the field is so vast. People are good at so many different things. And you've got to also understand you're fishing against people that win at the highest level. Right now, we're literally fishing against the guy who won the Bassmaster Classic. So in this field, you need every competitive advantage you can get. Trying new things is a great way to grow as an angler, but you got to understand in these tournaments, you need every little edge you can get, whether that be, you're good at flipping and you find a good flipping stretch versus going out and trying to shake a minnow and, that you don't work it like the other guys do. You have to fish your strengths if you want to be competitive. 20 guys can go sit on a community hole and scope all day, and one guy is going to just be better at it than everybody else. That's the way it is. You have to know what you're good at and what you're not good at and fish those strengths. Now, I'm not saying don't work on other things and try to get better at other things, but the tournament is not, the day of the tournament is not the time and the place to do that. So just always try to find your strength, whether you're good at fishing laydowns or you're good at scoping brush piles. Try to find something that suits your style of fishing everywhere you go. I promise there's something on every body of water you're going to fish that you have either more confidence in or you're just genuinely more skilled at fishing that than other anglers. So always fish your strengths. Try to find your style of fishing. And even if it's just a confidence factor, I promise you'll do better if you're out competing against the guys who are better at you at that style of fishing, if that makes sense. For example, I know I mentioned laydowns and that kind of stuff already. I love fishing laydowns. I don't know if it's because I grew up fishing cypress trees and stuff and it just translates to that. I think I can outfish a lot of people on a laydown. I love laydowns. So when I'm fishing these tournaments, I look for that type of fishing, especially if it's, the time of year sets up for it to be a laydown deal or a dock deal. That's another thing I love. My buddy loves to throw chatterbaits. So anywhere we go, we look for a solid chatterbait bite. And when we find areas or patterns that suit us, we do noticeably better in tournaments, and that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter if you like to go live scope and you're real good at live scope, go out and find you a good scoping bite. What I'm trying to say is anything you're good at, look for that bite. It's not always going to be there. Sometimes you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and fish, but when it's there, you should always capitalize on it. I wish I would have known that my first year of fishing and not tried to force ways I'm not comfortable in. The second thing I want to talk about is spending money. Now, this is different from school to school. I know some schools, all tackle is paid for, and it's case by case. But one of the biggest things I wish I knew starting out was to go the first day of practice, go fish with what I got, and then go to the tackle store and buy lures based on what I think I'll need based on the conditions, or what I caught, buy more of what I caught them on. That first year of fishing, I can't tell you how much money on baits before I even got to the tournament because I thought that's what they would bite. And 5 times out of 10, it's a completely different bite than you were thinking because you've never been to some of these bodies of water. No matter how good a fisherman are, you can't always guess what exact bite they're going to be on, what color it may be, what size, all that kind of stuff. It's so variable. So I just urge you to fish the first day or two of practice with what you have, and then if you need to go buy stuff, buy it after that, because buying it up front will, I don't want to say waste money because you get to keep the tackle, but spend money you didn't need to spend because you thought they were going to bite that when they're not. I can't tell you how many times I did it that first year. And it's just more beneficial if you use what you have and then go buy more of that. It's also going to leave you with more confidence. You won't be as scatterbrained. All around, it's just a better deal if you wait a day or two to go buy the tackle and stuff you need. And I get it. I'm a tackle junkie. I love buying all kinds of tackle and stuff too. It's exciting. But please, I know you're probably thinking, good Lord, Unc, just go buy the dang tackle. If you got it like that, do it. But I don't. The third thing I want to talk about is understanding that a lot of these schools will tell you anything to get you through that door. You got to understand that at these schools, numbers of students translates to number of dollars. So I'm not telling you people are going to just upright lie to you. And this is not every school. But what I am saying is some teams I've heard will bend the truth to get you through that door. So I'm talking, for instance, cases of, you get a boat if you fish with us. Well, that may be true, but it might not be until your junior or senior year or some stipulation like that. So while these schools might not lie to you, be weary because they might bend the truth to get you through that door. Now, like I said, this is case to case, and it's just stuff I've heard. I hadn't experienced this. But always ask questions and always just be weary, because at the end of the day, it is a transaction. You joining that team and, basically, that sounds horrible, but becoming a dollar amount to that school. Always be aware that they are trying to sell you on that school versus others. So yeah, that's a little short one, but just always ask questions, and if it sounds too good to be true, it might be. Fourth thing I want to talk about is you've got to want it. I know that sounds cliche, but you really do have to want it. I remember in high school I was trying to learn the guitar, and in guitar class I'd practice then, but when I got home I never even wanted to pick the thing up because I wanted to do other stuff. Fishing cannot be like that. This has to be something that you want to be good at, and you want to be, you want to be the best of the best. If you don't have that mindset, you should not fish in college. I guarantee you. You are fishing against the best anglers in the country, especially with forward-facing sonar still being allowed. In my opinion, the college series at some tournaments, I'm not saying in all of them, is harder than the elite series. Now, I might get some feedback for that statement, but I mean, a guy from the college series won the Bassmaster Classic. You know what I'm saying? So you have to want this. If you don't want to be good and want to compete at the highest level, then this is not for you. I promise. I know a lot of guys fish in high school, and I'm not saying they don't like bass fishing. I'm just saying they think that you can go to college and, not care as much about it as you should. I know at the end of the day, school comes before everything. Do your work, make good grades. You're here for education. But that being said, if you don't want to be the best bass angler on the circuit, you should not compete. And I'm not saying that to be rude or anything. I just genuinely believe that. I know it sounds cliche, but you have to want it with everything you got. You got to spend time on the water. You've got to research it. You got to put the time in, is basically what I'm trying to say. This is not something that you can, put half your effort into and think you're going to be the best of the best. If you don't put all your effort into it and give it everything you can, you will see the results. So that's all on that one. Just, you have to want it. You got to earn it. It is not going to come easy. Like I said, you're competing against some of the best in the world. I'll go as far to say that. And you just got to understand, if you don't, these guys want it bad, and if you don't want it as bad as them, you don't got a shot. The fifth and final thing I want to talk about is arrogance. You've got to leave all that arrogance at the door. This is the most humbling sport there is. I would bet on it. There is no, win or lose. There's a 50-50 shot at winning or losing. You either win or you don't. And that being said, like I said in the last part, you're fishing against the best of the best. And you're going to get beat a lot. If you think that you're better than everybody else, you are going to get humbled very fast in college fishing. It is not like high school fishing. It is not like local trail fishing. You're fishing against hammers from every nook and cranny of the country, and everybody knows what they're doing. You cannot come in thinking that you are the best of the best. I know that kind of contradicts what I just said, but wanting to be the best and thinking that you are the best is two different things. Arrogance will only make you suffer in bass fishing. For example, one of the first far off tournaments we fished was the Harris Chain a few years ago. And me and my buddy, we found some fish. I'm not saying we were going to win the thing, but we found some fish, catching them how we like to catch them. And we went, and we only ended up with like 3 that day, but we came in, we thought we would get some decent points or whatever. We forgot how far we went in the canal. We forgot how far the run back was. And we ended up stacking a time penalty, and then one of our fish, I swear to this day, we put it in that live well. It measured. It shrunk 1/8 of an inch. And he was also missing an eyeball. And I remember I told the guy bumping fish, I said, he's missing an eye. And he looks at me and he goes, well, he's missing a 1/4 inch too. So I don't know if that was arrogance or stupidity, but we ended up going negative in that tournament, which I didn't know was possible. And coming in last when we thought we were going to get some decent points. The moral of the story is, don't be like me. Don't be arrogant to the point where you think, oh, I can make it back in time, or anything like that. That was one of our first far-off tournaments, and we got dead last. It is the most humbling thing in the world, I swear. And I don't care how good you think you are, or how bad you beat everybody in high school, I promise you, it's a whole different ball game. And yeah, just don't be cocky, don't be arrogant, don't be that guy. Always learn. Don't think you're too good to, get more knowledge or listen to people's advice. And don't be that guy that's like, oh yeah, I know that already, I know that. Always be a sponge, absorb as much knowledge as you can, and it will make you such a better fisherman. That's it for number 5. Just don't be arrogant, don't be cocky, or you will get humbled, I promise. Here's one more little bonus thing I want to talk about. As I said earlier, you're fishing against the best of the best. So when you have these sponsors, everybody's good. Everybody's going for the same sponsorship dollars. You have to understand, you also have to be good at marketing these sponsors and making connections in the industry. Don't get up on stage and say, I just want to say thank you to my sponsors. Say something like, this is the new, whatever it may be, Berkeley Flatnose Minnow. That's what I caught all my fish on. It's been great. Buy them here. You got to actually advertise these guys. When you get up there and say, thank you to my sponsors, that doesn't do anything for them. I recommend you to get good at the social media stuff. I recommend you, if you don't like public speaking, get good at it, get used to it, learn to enjoy it, because you're going to see a lot more sponsorship dollars come in if you actually have some value to you, rather than you just say, thank you to my sponsors every tournament. It's not good enough anymore to be good. Everybody's good. You've got to go the extra mile and earn these sponsors. College fishing has been an awesome opportunity, and I recommend it. If you're all about fishing, if you want to be the best of the best, find a school, go fish in college. It's the best thing ever. We get to travel. We get to learn so much. I cannot tell you how much I've grown as a fisherman through fishing in college these past 2 years. I mean, it forces you to become a better fisherman. And you've got to have the drive. You've got to want to make it happen. But I promise you, This will make you become a better fisherman. It's just, I know I keep saying this, it's just been such an awesome opportunity. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm just sharing my own personal experience. I've got to meet so many awesome people. I've got to build so many awesome connections, and I've loved every second of it. So if you like fishing, if you like bass fishing competitively, and you think you're ready to take it to the next level, I seriously recommend college fishing. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. This is my first video I've done this kind of style of video. If y'all want to see more like this, let me know. I'm very interested in making some more like this. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank you.